churros caseros. That's what we're making today, homemade churros. Now in the churro world, there's a lot of different variations and each country has their version. Today, I'm gonna show you guys the classic and original ones from Spain. This recipe is very basic and it's very simple, yet these churros have an extraordinary flavor and texture to them. Here in Spain, we normally eat these for breakfast on the weekends or any day of the week in the afternoon for merienda, and we always serve them next to a thick chocolate sauce to dip them in there. Okay, here's another thing about these churros. If the night before you've had a couple too many, you wake up with a headache or a hangover, hey, we've all been there. Make yourself a batch of these churros. That dough is gonna soak up all the alcohol and put you back on your feet. Okay, before we get started, I wanna show you guys, this is my churrera. This is what I use to make these churros. I got it on Amazon.com. It's made in Spain and it doesn't cost that much and it makes beautiful churros and they cook perfectly. If you don't have one of these, that's okay. You can use a piping bag or a Ziploc bag. Now I've tried them with that method. They don't cook quite the same and they don't look as nice, but you can definitely use those to make these churros. Otherwise, I do recommend you get one of these. You'll find my Amazon affiliate link in the description box below. So the secret to making the perfect churros has to do with the dough. It has to have the perfect consistency. We're only gonna make it with 3 ingredients, so your measurements have to be dead on. You wanna start by measuring out 1 exact cup of water. Then add it into a saucepan along with half a teaspoon of sea salt and heat it with a medium-high heat. While the water's heating up, you want to measure out 1 exact cup of all-purpose flour. Once the water comes to a light boil, remove the saucepan from the heat, add the flour into the saucepan and mix everything together until it's well combined. Once you reach this sticky dough, go ahead and transfer it into a flat surface and let it cool off for about a minute. Then you want to get in there with your hands, you want to combine it and knead it between 1 to 2 minutes until you form a compact dough. Then you want to add your dough into a churrera or a Ziploc bag or a piping bag, whatever you're using. And for the final step, we're going to start designing our churros. You always want to have parchment paper underneath, that way they don't stick, and the ideal length is between 5 to 6 inches. Alright, let's start cooking our churros. Now the ideal way to make these is in a deep fryer. I don't have one. I don't think a lot of you do. And you know what? It's okay. We're gonna make them on the stovetop and they're still gonna be amazing. You wanna grab a small nonstick frying pan and heat it with a medium heat and add half a cup of virgin olive oil or any type of vegetable oil. Once the oil gets piping hot, start adding the churros into the oil. You want to cook these in batches. That way you don't overcrowd the pan. We're going to cook them between 5 to 6 minutes until they get a beautiful golden color. And you want to flip them occasionally. That way they cook through and they don't burn. And with each batch that you finish, transfer them to a plate with some paper towels. Once you have all your churros cooked, you want to coat each one with white sugar and then place them on a plate. Okay, for our final step, we're gonna make some homemade chocolate sauce. This is super easy. Begin by adding 1 cup of water to a saucepan and heating it with a medium-high heat. Once the water comes to a boil, place a bowl on top, add a 1/4 cup of chocolate chips, 2 tablespoons of milk, you can use any type of milk that you like, and a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and start mixing everything together until the chocolate melts. About 3 minutes later, remove the chocolate from the heat, continue to mix it, then transfer it into a different bowl, and place it on the plate with the churros. Okay, now I'm gonna give one of these churros a try. Salud. Such a great texture to these. They're nice and crunchy in the outside and then soft in the inside, but they're cooked all the way through. And then that chocolate sauce, it just takes it to the next level. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I truly hope that you guys make these churros at home because you're really gonna love them. If you enjoyed today's video on making this recipe, please hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe. Until the next time, hasta luego.